GangRadio.com. Take over. Last mission. Final boss mode.
Reynoso doing something in that camp because everybody getting into some exciting fights. So let's see. Shit. May as well jump into the last one we had.
Segway. Oh man. Yeah, Reynoso. Yes, PBC. You know, the all Mexican pay-per-view. Yes, it was more entertaining than it should have been. But before I go into that main card, though, I gotta go into the prelims card for that card, specifically just one particular fight. You know, the Lara fight. Now, when we all said that Lara, you know, we've mentioned Lara so many times, and you know, on this podcast already. You know, he was on there again. I never realized that dude was actually 38 years old, man. Like, yeah, he's really been around for a hot minute.
You're 38 and you still boxing. Ugh.
You know, yeah, they put him on the prelims against Cornflake Lamana. You know, now, obviously, when I said this on the previews, it's a collective groan because it's like, the fuck, you know. But and then what was worse is they put one of the GameStop titles on the line, you know, and then, well, I mean, just you know, well, obviously, it turned out the fight was absolutely no contest, and damn, you know, Lara put his lights out with one left hand. Shocking.
I've eaten Frosted Flakes more durable than this cornflake.
And then afterwards, and the funny thing too, the only thing I found funny was Brian Kenny was on there, like, you know, damn near ripping apart the WBA GameStop belt. I was like, I'm sure Alan was not like that. Because on the PBC universe, Lara is the WBA middleweight champion, not Murata. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, PBC, like, if you wanted to put, Lara is, I mean, obviously I think the plan is, you know, Lara's probably being built up to either face Charlo or maybe a Hurd rematch or something like that. Because PBC's middleweight division needs to be like...
Yeah, let him face the guy that ruined him in the first place.
Hey, I mean, Hurd's not looking too hot himself lately, so...
May as well feed him to Charlo so you can at least sell that as the best career win.
That's also true. Yeah, you know, so I mean, yeah, you're not smart, like, you know, to put, but yeah, I mean, it didn't need a belt on the line, and no one believes that Lamana was actually some sort of middleweight contender. So yeah, PBC, like, yeah, y'all gotta get together on that. You know, you gotta put Lara in a really challenging fight next time.
It sounds like he has like some type of retirement plan where he gets these bullshit fights that he mains events. And he gets paid a bag, and it's like an easy night work. Like, he just goes about his business.
Yeah, and yeah, that's enough of that. He's had too many of those damn fights. You know?
Yeah, like too many. Like Jake Paul fighting harder people. Like, come on.
I'm saying, like, you know, yeah, they need to get it together. But yeah, that's also another segue into another person who I think is fighting on a retirement plan. One Chris Arreola, who in the main event, you know, is facing, you know, former heavyweight champion of the world, Andy Ruiz Jr.
But I thought he was about to say Omar Figueroa.
Oh no, we'll get to that.
And that would have been correct.
That would have been correct too, Bob.
Because it's like how you jump from, like, you had to speak on Laura, but then you jump to Chris Arreola, like, damn.
Well, I mean, for one thing, I don't think Omar's on any retirement plan, you know, like Arreola and Laura.
He just sucks at 147.
Yeah. But, you know, we can talk about Figueroa now. I mean, that Figueroa fight, I'm sorry, but I was very low-key disgusted at that fight.
That was a confusing ass fight.
Was that? What'd you say, Fighter?
That was a confusing ass fight. I didn't see how he was playing like that.
Yeah, like, honestly, I mean, it looked like that Omar trained himself for the damn fight. Like, he probably worked with his sister to get his weight down, and then he trained himself for the goddamn fight. Like I have no idea, like, what the fuck he thought he was doing. Like, seriously.
The kind of kid boxing style he was doing, that shit was not working.
Yeah,
it seemed like he would work in spots, but then it's like he wasn't throwing enough to make it work. Like,
Yeah, the only time I ever saw something like that where I thought a fighter trained himself was that Hopkins Shumanev fight, where Shumanev was out there, doing kung fu stances and letting Hopkins like knock his ass down, with counters and shit. And that's what it looked like to me. It looked like Omar had no style. I mean, Omar had a different style. Like he was a devil may care type of fighter. Like dude used to slug it out, and he had power. But he had power at light.
He didn't want to keep both hands up. It's like he wanted to just like, look, I'll show you my own boxing style, and I'll win that way. And you'll never tell me anything again. Like this shit failed, bro.
Yeah, because what happened was Abel Ramos timed his ass and pretty much he had to feel that. I mean, he was like, man, I didn't realize it was going to be this easy. And Ramos was just. I mean, he was lacing him with like rights. And
the only reason he was able to time him because Figueroa stopped throwing punches. He just
he was over here doing that.
Yeah, you can't time somebody if they're throwing punches. Like you see him, you know how hard it was to damn time fucking Joe Frazier and Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
I'm not saying Figueroa on that level, but just the whole fact that just the swinging, that back and forth shit, like.
Yeah, and it's not like Ramos is a feather fist. Like Ramos was.
He got popped.
Yeah, and you saw it too because Omar's face was all trademarked up, by like the fourth round. Like, and he made no adjustments. He didn't do anything to change what he was doing because it was like he was getting consistently lit up and was still doing that stupid Emmanuel Augustus imitation. Like, really. Yeah. And then the end came when Ramos started. You know what? It's time to get rid of this dude. Like, dude started lacing his body something seriously, and Omar was just on the ropes doing that stupid shit. And it was like Ramos was just teeing up. I was like, yo, someone should really stop. It's like really pull this dude out of the fight. Like, he's clearly done. and shit, he was ready to go down anyways too. Like at the bell, like he was clearly ready to go down. And then, they stopped in the court because Omar started spitting up blood on camera.
Well, he was getting embarrassed. Like, I know this whole family is probably just shaking their head inside. Like, he's low-key becoming, like, damn, Chavez Jr. now.
Yeah, but in this thing, like, I mean, I saw what I needed to say. Like, Omar Figueroa is finished as a fighter. Like, I honestly think, the years, the hard fights, and then, he had his personal problems, He had a problem with alcoholism and whatnot.
The
layoffs, weight gain. Like I honestly think that dude is like he's done.
And I don't know if he all there mentally, man. Because that damn, whatever the fuck he was trying to do in that boxing ring was just weird as fuck. Like.
Yeah, because that's not how he fights, dude. It's like, I mean, that's
he'll do some shit like that that's similar, but not all. He never really dedicated to it like he did that time.
Well, I think because Omar's never been Omar's one of the few people that I say like, man, this dude really needs to box. Like, dude be making fights a little bit too difficult sometimes. Yeah. And because his defense has never been great, so I think that might have been his attempt to actually have defense. But
he has the power because the thing is, when he was letting his hands go early, like he was buzzing Ramos.
Yeah.
Remember, a lot of people was kind of overhyping this fight, saying there was going to be a war and this thing. Remember, we had the poll and shit.
Yeah.
Niggas was hyping up this fight, and it didn't, it didn't live up to it. Like, honest to God.
Yeah, no,
the role has been done for a while.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a sad ass whooping. Like ass whooping that he didn't need to take or he shouldn't have took. And I think he's lost 2 in a row. I mean, he's lost to Ugas, who he lost widely to Ugas, and now he got knocked out by Ramos for the first.
And then he got a gift against Molina.
Yeah, I mean, so really, his last real clear win was against Robert Guerrero, and that was like
exactly. After that, it's like there's a downward spiral.
Yeah, it was sad watching that fight. It was really sad because it's like Omar should not have gone up past 140, but how it goes. I think dude is food now if he continued.
Yo, just get behind Brandon Figueroa and
get to
them heights you couldn't ascend to.
I hope his brother. I hope his brother actually watches that fight and realizes, man, I need to make sure I get my defense straight. Because I
don't fucking embarrass myself like this guy.
Yeah.
Because I know when they went to their faces in the crowd, you could tell they was embarrassed.
Yeah, they were like, because they saw. I mean, they saw the future. It was like, he doesn't have he doesn't have a future in boxing no more. So, but hey, at least Omar Figueroa actually had, he did win a world title, right?
Yeah.
True.
And he's gave us some classic fucking fights. So
yeah.
I don't be too hard on him because he did provide some great entertainment. Yeah. I don't want to see him take no more beatings and shit, man.
Yeah, and the same thing goes for Jorge Cota too. Like that was a fight that was already that was bullshit.
Oh yeah, oh my goodness.
Yeah. That
I feel like just even talking about that is like eating him up even more.
And Fedora didn't even look that good, honestly.
He didn't.
Nah, he's a knockout waiting to happen soon.
Yeah, highlight reel KO in the making for sure.
Somebody's gonna hit him with a counter left Maravilla style, like Paul Williams.
He's gonna fall like a tree.
Counter everything.
He's gonna fall like a tree for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, dude is just ripe to get annihilated by somebody at 154. It is coming too. But that was another fight. I was just like, man, Cota just stays taking these ass whoopings on TV. They need to cut all this shit out.
If he was in his prime, he would have probably won that fight because he landed too many good shots on Fundora within that short amount of time.
I don't get why the ref stopped it. I mean, he should have stopped it a little earlier, but why did he stop it right when he landed the overhand? That
I don't think he saw that. I don't think he saw the punch by Cota.
Oh, and that was his.
Yeah, because that was just bad time. Like if he had waited maybe 15 seconds, if he had stopped it like 50 seconds earlier, that would have been okay. Yeah, that would have been perfect.
That would have been okay. Yeah, right.
Yeah, because Cota was getting his ass whooped by that time.
He let the nigga get back into the fight, then he's like, "Hold on, wait. This is going according. This ain't going according to plan."
Yeah. But it was sad to watch. But I think it was a fight that was needed because the opener had the young Ramos against Javier Molina. And I mean, I'll give props to Molina though. Javier Molina took an ass whooping, but didn't go down. Like he took some shit in that fight. But he still had enough to actually give Ramos a whole bunch. Get some trouble, something at least to think about. So I mean, it was enough to be like, okay, Jesus Ramos has some things he needs to work on some more, and Molina at least he increased his standing a little bit. Although that picture that I saw on Twitter of him taking off his boot and had that nasty ass blister was gross. I almost puked. That was so fucking gross. Yes, boxers. Yeah, you for people who box, you gotta make sure you buy some comfortable shoes, man. Ugh, God.
Yeah, that's what must be like Broner feel.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But the undercard, like I said, it was
big, yo. The undercard was big as fuck.
The
best fight was the worst, was the one we shitted on the most.
And that's also true,
The Fundora Cota.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So that's saying how, that's trash. Like, and overall, the card, like, look, this needed to be on a fucking regular Fox. Like, how many young Mexican children y'all could have inspired when they see that main event, or just y'all really wanted to do something to the culture and really showcase that Mexican heritage and everything on a wider scale. Y'all should have had a regular TV, but after Chris's ran, I doubt that would have worked. Y'all would have just been bleeping.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because before like the day of the fight, like me and my wife was actually talking about that. I was telling her like, remember that guy that we used to watch and he used to curse afterwards? She's like, yeah, like that nigga still fighting. Like word, like tonight she was like, I wonder what he gonna say. I was like, man, I don't even know, man. Like I doubt he say anything, but man.
But I mean that was just the one. I mean, yeah, he definitely went off in the post-fight rant, but how the fight went, I was just like, I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, because I was WhatsApping LB about the shit. I was like, yo, what the fuck am I watching? What is this? You know, you would think, though, I mean, because the whole thing is like, Arreola is 40 years old. He's coming off a war, a punch fuckery with Kanaki. Like, everything is aligned in the stars where Arreola should have been knocked out, per se. Like, he should have been knocked out. And you think
skinny, fat, like he's in the best shape of his life, but you don't know if he's truly in shape.
Right. And then you have Ruiz, and they need to stop doing all this Photoshop angle shit with him. I'm sorry, like, or having him.
He stuck it in his fucking gut. That's why. He's still like a fat fuck.
Yeah, like, he definitely weighed less. You know, he's like 30 pounds less. You know, but he was still 250 something pounds. I mean, you know, that's not his lightest weight ever. Like, his lightest weight is in his 240s. So it's like, you know, y'all gotta stop doing with these damn pictures and.
Yeah, they try to really make it seem like he lost weight. Like, when I seen him, I was like, hold on, this is the nigga from the Joshua fight.
Yeah, like he looked, and honestly, he looked in better condition in the first Joshua fight than he looked like in this fight. Really. Yeah. And it's just the thing too with Reynoso. Like, I mean, it's like I said, not every fighter can beat Canelo or do what Canelo does. And I know, you know, and in this particular case, I mean, I know Valdez, you know, he had his breakthrough recently, and it looks like that, but after some difficulty, it looks like Ruiz is going to have that same difficulty too. But there's no way did I expect skinny fat Arreola to hurt Ruiz plenty of times in this fight and knock his ass down too. Like, if you had told me that the only person who'd go down would be Ruiz in this fight, I would have said you was crazy. Like,
Ruiz was getting bopped up. Like, dude was damn heeling and towing.
Yeah.
Damn city boying. Like, he stayed, like, man, early in the fight, he was getting knocked around. Like,
it looked bad early, yeah.
Yeah, because the funny thing is, I think Ruiz was like, you know what, I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna wade in. So I think, you know, he was probably thinking like, I'm gonna do what I did to Joshua in the first fight, and then Arreola, like I said, you know, landed a monster right hand behind the ear, and then, you know, he kind of like went to a split or something like that. But yeah, he felt real awkward, like. But, you know, they used to say they were trying to say, oh, he got hit in the back of the head. No, that was a legal shot as anything.
Hold on, are you talking about the Chisora knockdown?
No, nigga, I'm talking about the Ruiz Arreola knockdown.
I thought that was like a straight up like punch to the face. Like, that was like a awkward, like.
Yeah, it was like side of the head type of shit too. Like, I mean, I know people on Twitter were saying that was behind the head. But I was like, no, that wasn't behind the head. That was not.
Like, Ruiz ran into that shit.
Yeah, it was like, hey, he tried it. And I'm thinking to myself, man, and you know, LB's telling me, you know, plot armor. This is how it goes.
Yeah, because I hit all y'all niggas over the Carimo glitch.
Yeah. Yeah, and if the loss actually happened, trust me, that article would have been circulated, you know, like crazy today about that.
Damn, like I ain't got the chance to say Carimo glitch since the damn Crawford meme machine.
But I mean, shit, it damn well might well have been a career mode glitch, because, like I said, you know, Ruiz.
Hell yeah, it was.
I mean, Ruiz is still.
He was supposed to get dropped. Yeah, Ruiz, multiple times.
Yeah, Ruiz is still looked upon as one of the, you know, supposed to be one of the top heavyweights, you know, heavyweights in boxing today.
Yeah, he top 5.
Yeah, top 5 at least, and he's getting knocked around by someone who's been finished for like the last 5 years now.
Who was top 5 like 15 years ago?
I'm saying
maybe.
You know, and I'm thinking to myself, yo, this shit is fucking crazy. And then, you know, even after knocking Ruiz was still getting hurt. Like, he looked more unsteady on his feet than I've ever seen in any of his other fights. Like, he looked like Arreola was like really shaking him up. Until Ruiz was like, you know what? Let me not trade with this dude like that anymore. Let me just outbox. You know, let me just box from the outside and see what he does. And for some reason, Arreola didn't make any adjustments after that. Like he just I don't know what made him so tentative. Maybe it was the 1-2-3 that Ruiz was throwing. Like, he was spamming that 1-2-3 like repeatedly. I was like, I was like, he doesn't know any other combinations outside of that. Like, I mean, Ruiz's his punch combinations are usually pretty good, but he was spamming the same 1, 2, 3 all the time.
Man, let's be. Ruiz regressed.
Yeah,
he hasn't looked good since the damn first Joshua fight.
Yeah, there was something. Yeah, because like his first PBC fight and the Joshua fight, those were great performances from him. Those were the type of performances I expected. I've always watched from him. Yeah, this one was.
Maybe I don't think Reynoso and Canelo really doing it over there like that. Although they hype it up and make it seem like, oh man, it's like the danger room from X-Men. I'm training here hard, and I'm showing them defense and this, that, and meanwhile, every time these niggas get into a fight, they getting their damn skull cracked and shit.
Yeah, and like
Canelo better be lights out. I'm telling you, your whole camp be looking vulnerable and shit.
Hell no.
Yeah, heavyweight look vulnerable.
Yeah, and truthfully, I mean, he's the latest heavyweight. Actually, no, there were two heavyweights that look two notable heavyweights that look vulnerable, and we'll get to the other heavyweight in a little bit. But it's just like, if you're supposed to be a top heavyweight, you don't struggle at any point with Chris Arreola. You don't. A 40-year-old Chris Arreola, you do not.
We wouldn't be getting on dude if he would have stopped Arreola afterwards. Like, okay, yeah, because they would have just been looked at it like a Mexican standoff. Like,
right, yeah.
Mexican shootout. They would have just been on some, like, Arreola dropped him, looked good for a little bit, and everybody's like, oh, shit. And then Ruiz wakes up and says, all right, fuck it, let me get serious. Boom, 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 knock him out.
Yeah.
Nah, it's like, this shit really went 12 rounds.
Yeah, and it wasn't necessarily. And the 12 rounds, the second half wasn't necessarily exciting either.
Yeah, because the first half was good. Like when Arreola was winning, that's when the fight was good.
Yeah.
when Ruiz started controlling it, it fell into a pattern, and it's like Ruiz, he didn't have the damn punch selection or the IQ or maybe the gas tank. I don't know what it was. But he didn't have the extra gear to put Chris Arreola out of there. And
right.
The thing is, Arreola was keeping him too honest too, because every now and then that light pole fucking jab would hit Ruiz smacked hard, or he'd walk right into a fucking right hand.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Like not even Joshua has snapped his head back the way Arreola was doing. Like Arreola, every time he landed a jab, and it looked like he wasn't even putting any mustard on the jab.
Yeah, it was like the effect. I'm like,
yeah,
goodness.
Yeah, I was like, what is wrong with him? Like, and Ruiz has a big ass head too. So when I'm saying that you can actually see his head snapping all the way back, that's something crazy. Like,
yeah.
So I mean, it's like I said. I mean, Ruiz got the job done. At least he didn't end up on a loss on his record, but. He clearly lost a little bit in his standing. Like, I mean, it's hard to
leave untainted.
Yeah, like it's hard to say that this dude is like a top 5 heavyweight when you see something like that happen.
Yeah, because now it's like, like, does Ruiz beat Valin?
Yeah, and the reason why is because you don't let Arreola. Like, I mean, when the fact that Arreola had enough, in the post-fight rant to talk about. He was ranting and, swearing his head off when he should have been like, you know what, man, I've been beaten by the better guy. I've been thoroughly beaten. I think it's time for me to retire. That's the type of shit that I should have been hearing.
Yeah.
If the ass whooping was, if the ass whooping should have happened.
But why should these guys retire and later come back to get a thriller fight when you could just get the big fight now?
Exactly. And I've always said that heavyweights have had the hardest time getting rid of their older fighters. They don't do this very well.
Not this era shit.
Yeah, it's like it's like I said, and now like we've had notable heavyweights that that suffered too many uh-ohs. Like Fury had Valin, Joshua had Ruiz, Wilder, Fury, Parker with Chisora, which we'll talk about a little bit. White had Povetkin, and then even Luis Ortiz had Christian Hammer put hands on him. Like, and it's weird. It's a
all those niggas had losses though. You said Fury Valin like it was an like he ain't lose though.
Yeah, but Valin was a huge underdog, bro. Like that wasn't.
Yeah, he had his Arreola. performance.
Yeah, that was the era no one saw that shit coming.
And it's like, damn, man. That's what I'm saying. It's like this era is like, wow. Like if you got guys who, fought Vitaly Klitschko and they're still competing at the highest level now.
Yeah.
What does that say about this era?
Yeah, I mean that means Arreola has that means his 15 minutes is extended in a loss. In two losses.
And I ain't mad at this shit.
But it was like, I mean,
my man's I mean, let's be honest, my man is running on 45 minutes right now. Like he's been past the 15 minutes.
This nigga got a whole hour documentary now.
He was past the 15 minutes with the Kanaki fight.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Facts.
And now
was like 17 minutes.
Yeah, so now I mean now he basically got enough time to do a 12 song EP, a 12 song album.
Facts. And Andy Ruiz is like he's that one rapper like who had a good year, but then it's like you don't want to hear from him no more.
See, Fetty Wap, huh?
Damn.
Yeah, now it's gonna be like, I mean, so obviously with the Kanaki fight, like the punch fuckery that happened if I had Kanaki actually losing afterwards. Now, obviously now with Ruiz after this fight, like, did he, will he lose after this fight? Like, will it be another pattern where a hard fight with Arreola results in a loss in his next fight?
Then the karma circle will be complete.
Probably.
That's crazy how a guy like Arreola is outlasting, the dudes like Kalnaki and Ruiz.
Yeah, this
it's just crazy. Shout out to Official Scorecard Boxing. Shout out to Rome. I just noticed that shit. Like I ain't been looking.
Especially Official Scorecard. He's definitely been on listening and shit. As he should, though. Salute to him.
Salute.
But it's just like, Arreola is like, it was like Arreola should be gone from boxing right now. But hey, I mean, he's going a distance with people who are so with prospects and former heavyweight champions. Keep him around, I guess. But I think it's just may delay the inevitable, though.
Shit, but it's like he showed more discipline in this one fight than we thought Andy had going into this fight.
Yeah, like it's actually
he won the event, really.
He did. Yeah, and this was an event where the crowd was chanting Andy's name like crazy, and then there were fights popping off.
Exactly. You just made me remember they booed Andy at the end.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, that was wild. They were just booing.
Yeah, they did.
Booed his ass. So just imagine that's crazy. Like Arreola, honestly, Arreola just retire or parlay that into a thriller fight.
Mm-hmm.
Like and get your one last win, payday, and go off to the sunset. Like that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, I mean, you don't want to hear, Arreola's talking about, I'm going to keep doing this boxing. So I know you don't want to hear that from someone who's had clearly he's taking a lot of punishment, and like, I mean,
nightmare with Freddy Krueger looking.
Yeah.
But he's Ruiz nightmare for a while right now.
Yeah. Ruiz though has got to do some real rebuilding. Something needs to be done because, like I said, you didn't knock Arreola down, you didn't come close to knocking him out. Like you outboxed him, but you don't outbox Arreola. You put him away. Yeah. Especially for a guy of your standing. So I mean, yeah.
Yeah, this was like a misfire. So it was like Andy Ruiz was supposed to be set up as like, shit, I think he's back. I think he's ready for a third fight with Joshua type shit.
Or a fight with Wilder.
But like, you're barely fighting. You're barely selling a fight with damn.
Now I'd rather see him versus Dylan White or some shit. Dylan White.
Yeah, he barely selling that. I mean, maybe put him in there with Ortiz or Helenius.
Yeah, Helenius.
That's easy to make. Yeah, you can do that. That's easy to make.
That's funny that Helenius probably has more upside now than Ruiz at this point. I mean, that's like you could probably say that people won't look at you too crazy.
Shit, he got one of the best wins now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Heavyweight division, man. It's so weird how it operates in this era. Like I said, I mean, the parody's nice, but some of the shit that's been happening is not so nice. You know, you don't want your top heavyweights struggling with people that they should not be. They should be putting away with ease. Like,
Yeah. Speaking of struggling, that heavyweight.